Let's talk about the drinking journey nobody prepared us for today. From college party animal to responsible adult to whatever the heck this perimenopausal phase and menopause phase happens to be. Today, we're diving into how our relationship with alcohol evolves, why some of us drink more now, some drink less, and how to find that happy medium when your body keeps changing the rules.
I've gone from, hi, I'm Jenn, and I'm going to drink my face off in college, to now I'm very sexy, savvy, and a wine connoisseur with a pretty glass in my hand, too. What the hell am I doing with all this? I don't know. It's time for some reassessment.
Absolutely. And I'm Jodi. My college tolerance was legendary. And now 2 glasses of wine, and you might be texting your ex. I'm just saying.
So today we're talking about the drinking evolution that nobody warns us about, right?
Absolutely. Absolutely. And I mean, if you used to be able to drink all night and work the next day, and now 1 extra glass of wine just ruins your entire week.
This episode is your drinking reality check.
Absolutely. Let's go, girl.
Okay. Do we dare go back to college right now
Oh,
and
could we?
even admit half of the shit we did? Oh, dear God. I remember drinking my face off. God only knows where I was, who I was with, but I was with a bunch of fun people, and I was the life of the party.
Yep.
And then I worked at a place, ready? It was called Pro Robics in Seattle, and I was the smiling people greeter. And then I had to teach classes. So not only was I working, but I was working. There were times where I swear I would get there. I was probably still drunk. I'm so embarrassed to say that. But
Absolutely.
hi, welcome to 20.
100% relate.
Drinking underage. Big shocker over here.
Same thing. And I had a job on Saturday mornings, and I would be not recovered, and I would somehow find my way into work with my head in a sling and somehow manage to get through it. But we did it, and we recovered relatively quickly.
Yeah, because there was no recovery. Like recovery
Gatorade was medicine.
I just remember that like by 4 p.m. I was like feeling pretty good. Where are we going tonight? Like what is that? What, like, it was like, okay, I think the only nights that like were not really considered let's go out college drinking nights were like Sunday night, Monday night. Tuesday night was definitely a go out night. Wednesday night was usually a day party.
Yep.
Thursday night was Thursday. If you actually dated people in school, God forbid, that was maybe kind of a date night. And then Saturday was an all-out party. Like, what is wrong with us?
Nothing.
I'm admitting this on a podcast.
Nothing.
Oops.
And the youngsters now have come up with the darty. And so I love
darty.
it. Don't you love it?
Darty.
It's a day party. I know my child, who's already been through college, graduated, and moved on to life. That's what he told me all about. He's like, oh, moms love the darty.
You taught me that.
They can go and hang out all day and be in bed by 9 p.m. happy as a clam.
You know, I just remember my first football game that I was in my sorority, and we went to, it was a champagne brunch, supposedly. It was donuts and shots, basically. They're like a champagne brunch with the who was it? Oh, I know, the Sigma Chi's. I'm like, okay. And it was like donuts and shots. Let's start postgraduate.
Yeah, so there's that little window.
There's that little window where you're like trying to still drink and party. But you're like, I'm sophisticated. I drink wine now.
Well, and even if you're starting to dabble in that, maybe you're not there yet, but you're thinking, I have to go to work on Monday morning, and I have to work maybe 9 to 5. And then I really only get Friday, Saturday, and Sunday, but Sunday doesn't really count anymore because I still got to get up Monday morning. All of a sudden, you're in this schedule like a grown-up.
You are.
And you can't be partying all week. So you have to crush it in on Friday and Saturday night. And so you go hard, you kill it, and then you eventually, it starts to catch up with you in your 20s.
Okay, I have a confession to make too. So like I've had one of these nights. Like in my 20s, I was a pharmaceutical rep, which basically meant I'm a caterer of people. Like I just bring them food so I can go talk to a doctor.
Absolutely.
God love the pharmaceutical world. It's a little bizarre, but great. I remember going out and taking out doctors that were kind of sort of my age-ish, like within 10 or whatever years. Yeah. And they were going out to bars with us. And so a couple of them passed out, hungover, in my apartment on the couch.
Oh, geez.
They could have to go in to see patients. What's my cater job? I go buy them Jack in the Crack and tell them to write my drug on the box. It's Jack in the Box, but it might as well be called Jack in the Crack. And I literally write on the fast food bag, hey, super fun last night, write some of my shit today. And I was like the freaking number one rep.
That's how you become the number one rep in the pharmaceutical industry.
Kind of messy.
Hey, 20-something.
Hey, 20-something.
Hey, 20-something.
Snap
Yeah.
for the 20-somethings.
Yeah.
Yeah. A little messy.
They're
Little
good
messy.
years, but they're transition years.
They're transition
and it's
years.
when you're figuring out your career and you're still trying to have fun and you're still wild and you're still fun, but you're
starting to feel it.
But you're starting to feel it. It's starting to restrict you. You're starting to hit a wall a little bit.
You could go and work out like a champ.
Oh,
After you did a big night of partying. But that all of a sudden isn't as interesting because you have this thing called a yob.
Yeah. Yeah.
You're like,
you gotta go.
You're like, I'm sorry, I have to go to work.
I have to answer to
go out.
I got to answer to the
I don't have
JOB.
time for the JOB and the GYM.
Plus, you still naturally look good.
You look
you
pretty
still
damn
feel
good,
pretty
right?
good.
Yeah.
And now you're over 25. Because I always remember 25 being the number where, yes, I started to get more serious in relationships, and I also started to gain weight. Like where your body just started to go, hey, girl.
Hey, girl, hey, you're not. It
was
like, sounded like Kendrick Lamar. Hey. No? Okay.
I used to just be able to eat what I want, do what I want.
Yep.
And all of a sudden 25 kind of hits you and you go, okay. So now you got to start thinking about food, eating better, actually going to the gym. This is where you start reincorporating that gym life. Maybe you used to be a dancer when you were a kid or a cheerleader or you were in a sport of some sort. And all of a sudden it stops, right? You go to college, it all ends, all the intramurals, all the college games.
You're not moving your body.
You're not moving your body anymore.
Yeah.
So you're still playing the game as best you can in terms of drinking, eating, and having a great old time. 25 hits you like a wall and you go, okay, here we go. I have to make some changes. Everybody has these issues because we all have our own answer. And usually the answer is not the well-balanced, exceptional way to do it because it's not easy.
No.
You know, there's no immediate gratification.
Correct.
Immediate gratification is what you just said. It's easier to just starve myself and balance my calories in a different way for the day, which is not the right way to do it. But we all have to go through those phases and learn it as long as it doesn't turn into a eating disorder. We're still talking about our progression through life, and mine goes a little longer than yours, so we'll be able to start nailing these down. But we've gone through the college years. We've had a lot of fun there. Now we're in the 20s. We're kind of moving from the early 20s where we're trying to do it all, but we can't. We hit the mid-20s. Now we're falling in love, and we're getting married, and we're starting to think about having kids. You just don't have time and interest. Your interests change.
You go from the big bottle, the magnum bottle of wine,
the box wine
to the, I have a fancy label wine.
Absolutely.
I have a whatever wine because I have $1 or $2 in my wallet.
I have wine over $18.
And I know a couple different wine brands.
Right.
And you might throw out, I drank a really good Rioja last night.
I know
and
one grape versus
what's a
the
Rioja?
other. Yeah.
Like I'm like, basically I am showing you my brand and my wealth of knowledge through my wine knowledge. Meanwhile, I'm still kind of slowly drinking my face off.
Right. Exactly. But you're spending more money on it.
I'm spending more money,
so
therefore it's okay.
So there it's okay.
So I'm more elegant, whatever. I have a pretty stemmed wine glass in my hand. I'm refined. I've made it.
Yeah.
I might be 30 and maybe I got myself a big old marriage. Right. And maybe I'm, doing the dual income, no kids.
Yep.
And then you decide. And by the way, 30 was my silly ass crucifying number. Like, if I'm not married by 30, if I'm not married by 30, oh my God. And you know what I got? I got a big old fat divorce. I got a big fat old like starter marriage. So right.
Exactly.
So now for us, we're in this young 30 something.
Yeah.
And now we're starting to have kids. So
and back then they were telling us you better have your kids before you're 35 because it was going to,
it's going to dry up.
Well, you had
to have nothing.
Well, you had to get an amniocentesis. Remember, that was nobody wanted to get that because all of a sudden it was high risk. It was high risk. As soon as you turned 35, it was considered high risk, which I know is probably not even a thing anymore. But I'm so far out of it. But pregnancy, all of a sudden you do become pregnant.
And then you aren't drinking.
You go from 100 to 0.
Exactly. And when you're raising babies, you're just trying to keep your head above water.
You're exhausted. And when you do have a glass of wine with your husband, it's out of need too. Yeah. It's like, honey, I'm going to just have to have some wine right now. Yeah.
And so I just remember those days were about my single cup coffee maker.
Yeah.
And I had that beautiful single cup in the morning with my flavored cream and then my glass of wine at night. And then I was out. I was sauced. I was like, good night. Bye-bye. See you later.
Yeah.
So you're not really like, that's a totally different phase.
And then you slip into the toddler play date years and welcome back to drinking nonstop, full time, all day, every day, people. Because that is the party in itself, because a play date for mom and children is a play date that usually included, well, I can only speak for myself, but my kids were babies and young toddlers in the Toronto area. And I would like literally throw the two kids into either a wagon or a stroller.
Yep.
And I would have the dog with me. I would have a big bottle of vodka in between the two children.
Oh my God. You're a rock star.
Oh my God. And we would go around the corner to our friend's place where all the people would meet. It was either at my house or at their house.
Yeah.
And we would play dates for the children. And
play dates for the mommies.
And everybody walked there. So we were all safely getting back and forth to each other's
walking
houses.
Towns. God love the walking towns.
But those years go on for a long time. And you're like literally day drinking yourself and you're in bed right next to your kids at 8 p.m. And we all had spouses that traveled. So it was kind of our crew. It was survival.
It was survival. Yeah.
So,
it takes a village.
And so, ladies and gentlemen who are in that phase of their life,
God help you.
You know what?
You can make it. You can hang in there. You can make it too. Hang in there.
Yeah.
See, I went back to work until my kids were like 2 and 4. And then I was like, oh, hell with this. This is cuckoo. And I think we'd moved like the millionth time for my husband's job.
Yeah.
And we were in a new community. We were up in Bucks County, Pennsylvania.
Yeah.
Funnest area I think I've been to yet. I mean, we only lived there for 2.5 years. You would have thought we were there for 10. We made great friends. And it was a rock star party all the time. It was all the time. We moved into this crazy neighborhood. I'm telling you, the first barbecue that we were invited to, there was a DJ. Like they had a gourmet cook and they were doing fireball shots at 4 p.m. on Sunday.
Hey.
Holy handbaskets. Hey. Kendrick Lamar. Crazy. But this is where I got introduced to like your kind of play dates situation, because it would be like, hey, the kids are now asleep or the kids are whatever. And then the moms would come over to play bunco or do whatever. Yeah. And then, of course, you had a glass of wine.
Bunco
and you're like,
and wine,
I'm
just
so
kind of.
Glass of wine. Hey. Yeah, exactly. Do you realize what we're doing? We're literally time stamping alcohol with our children. Whoops.
Sorry, kids.
Sorry, kids. Fine.
Mine are fully launched and alive.
Don't
so
brag.
It's good.
Don't brag. Okay.
It's all good. The controversial question is, did we replace the college binge drinking with daily moderate drinking and call it healthier?
Dun, dun, dun. Maybe.
Dun.
I'm going to go with the maybe. Ooh. Well, okay, listen. Like real talk, right? So I'm always really open about this. Like I have my 13-year-old is on the spectrum.
Yeah.
He is autistic. He has ADHD, very functioning, very pure little soul individual, but he can be a handful. And he's like having 3 kids. Mm-hmm. My 11-year-old thinks he's 45. So he likes to be the parent. So there's all kinds of fun shit going on, right? Like you're like, oh my God. So I have these 2 sillies that I love and adore, but they are a lot. And like, think about what we do at the studio on top of it.
Yeah.
I mean, I had no idea that this studio was going to be so therapeutic for
Yeah.
people. And
Mhm.
really where the magic beyond just the workouts here is, I think, about people and about talking to people and
Yeah.
genuinely listening to people's stories. And they're not always good. Like the people
Mm-mm.
go through hard shit, right? So by the
Absolutely.
time I come home, I've dealt with my kids. You know, my husband is like overseas right now, so I'm single parenting, right?
Mhm.
And then I've heard everybody else's stuff, which I want to hear. Like I don't want, like I'm genuinely invested because it's brain food for me, but it's also like humanizing. You know, like it's really relating to people. Girl, Cheryl, can I just tell you,
Girl.
I need that glass of wine, and I'm not gonna lie.
Yeah.
A little Chardonnay.
You know, to that point, we've also launched into that next segment, which is the perimenopause
Yes,
hormone hell. So that changes
that changes the game again.
the game again. And so I'll say you have younger children and experiencing perimenopause at the same time. So you're getting kind of a double hit.
Yes.
Whereas I went through I had my kids a little bit younger, I think. And
Yes.
so I kind of went through, they were older. Now,
Yes.
it doesn't mean they were older teenagers probably when I started going through it, or later in teenage life. So I was dealing with different situations. I also don't have the health disadvantages that you're dealing with your children, the struggles, the physical struggles that they have. And a lot of people have that. So
Very common.
it's for real. And so
Mhm.
now you're in this perimenopause phase with younger children, but your body is now telling you a different story. So it's like when we got through those play dates and we could drink still, and our bodies were, okay, cool, I got this, a little hangover. But now the very chemistry of your body is changing.
Yes. Yes, it is.
And so it's a whole other phase.
Okay, let's be real. Like I'm very lucky because of what I get to do for a living now, and I work out every day. And but that also comes with a big time discipline because I have to be on, I have to be connective. And hey, like 80% of it is because I love it, right? So it's not like this is a chore. I love what I do. And I think nobody can disagree with that.
Yep.
But that also means that physically I have to be there. And like there is no time, there is no place for exhaustion. There is no time for, oh, you kind of look like you schlepped. No. So if I have that extra glass of wine that I'm not used to having, I know I'm going to feel that, and I've got to dig deep. And the question is it really worth it after I close the studio up and just want to go freaking crash on the floor, or I need to still get through the rest of my day?
Absolutely.
Right?
You've got to get home. You've got to deal with the kids. You've got, life is still happening in front of you. And now your body's starting to rebel a little bit in other ways. So just the very processing of alcohol that, our body goes through is different. And I personally remember feeling that and experiencing that because it was kind of like I felt like almost, am I allergic to this? Like, why am I reacting differently to having a glass of wine or, an alcohol drink of some sort? Like, why is my body kind of going, I'm good. Like, I don't really need this, or I'd get an instant headache.
I think my biggest one is the anxiety. Like if I've had,
So it causes anxiety or it relieves your anxiety?
I would say, well, great question. It's a double negative. So or it's a double-edged sword moreover. So I would say at night, I think it relieves anxiety because it's that head change that we're all kind of looking for, whether we want to admit it or not. We are. I mean, come on, let's be honest, right? But then the next morning, if it's that one too many glasses of wine, and look, I mean, I'm transparent. Like I don't just have one glass of wine. Sometimes two, sometimes three. Whoops. Because here's how easy it is. You can start making dinner. And then you're like, oh, I'll drink a glass of wine while making dinner. And then Brant will pour me a glass of wine at dinner, And then if I stay up too late, then and all of a sudden I've had how many glasses of wine?
The cork doesn't fit back in.
And it's here's another thing that I would say. The key, in my opinion, is drink later. Don't open it up at 6 p.m.
Well, that's true because if you're grazing through it.
It's when our kids were littler, and it was a weeknight. I mean, sometimes it was just making dinner at 8:30 or 9 o'clock after the kids have gone to bed and had a good bottle of wine is kind of like a little mini date for us.
Absolutely.
And that I I absolutely support that because I think that's important. Does it
Yeah.
always have to do with wine? No, but whatever. Like you do you, right?
Yeah.
But at the same time, where does that start wreaking havoc the next day?
Yeah.
Because first of all, if you start drinking earlier, then you're typically not going to turn off the spigot.
Yeah.
Let's be honest. You're
Exactly.
just not.
Exactly.
So now you're increasing your time at night of how long you drink.
But you
That's the
should you
key.
stop earlier though?
Sure, you probably should, but who does? I'm not going to raise my hand on that one. I know I don't.
And then when you think about your body and the metabolism processing, as we get older, our metabolisms slow down a little bit.
Yep.
And so those calories hit differently. And that's what I started noticing.
Yes.
I started noticing weight gain personally. And even though I do work out basically 7 days a week, every day, I do some form of workout, whether it's a walk or
You're moving
hard.
your body.
And so in theory, I'm burning calories, but those sugary wine calories started to really hit me differently. And I will tell you guys, if you feel like you're like all of a sudden bursting with weight, and the first thing to do
to cut out
is to really pull back on those wine calories, because if you actually look it up, there's a lot going on in a glass of wine.
Yeah, that as we are going through the different phases of our life, like we have different relationships with alcohol.
Absolutely.
Right? And we've gone through the wine connoisseur. I'm so fancy fun, and I've had my drinking play dates, and now we're in menopause, perimenopause, wherever you are. And do I still like a nice glass of wine? I will tell you this, calorie wise, this is what my super cool and trendy friends have told me. Either vodka sodas or a tequila and soda. But changes the hangover a little.
Those are the drinks that I go to more often than wine now. And as much as I've always loved wine, and I typically when I go out for a drink now, I will order a vodka soda with lime.
I'm a tequila soda with tahini.
And tequila soda with I'll like or a skinny margarita with a tahini around the rim. And it's just, I know exactly what I'm getting. It feels like a cleaner drink for some reason.
I completely
don't know why, but it feels
I feel
cleaner.
Like I don't get like the Buddha, the Buddha perimenopausal pouch.
The bloat,
pouch.
The bloat,
it's like
you
I'm
guys.
a kangaroo with a pouch, but I got no baby Joey in there.
Well, I'll tell you, the wine is not doing the bloat any favors.
No, it's causing
all.
it.
So if you're
it's causing it.
So from experience, we can tell you, transitioning from the wine
to maybe
to the vodka or to whatever your preference is, not the high sugar rums and stuff, but those nice clean alcohols seems to help. And I don't have sort of the weird reaction or the crazy sleep. Like if I drink too much wine, my sleep is crazy now.
Yeah.
I can't even do it. And I used to be a total wine snob. We do have nice wine. I have beautiful wine. I've been to Tuscany. I've been to California. We've done all those wonderful things, and we just don't drink it as much.
Well, and I mean, let's face it, like we also don't go out like partying. Like that's not what we do anymore.
No.
And so I always tell people, in fact, I tell them, but before I tell them, they tell it to me. Like when they come out of class in the studio, they're like, I feel like I'm out. Like I'm out with like my girls getting like sweaty, like club dancing, sweaty,
it's
hot.
True.
And I'm like, and it's healthy. And you're not drinking your face off. Yay. And
so
you're probably going out with me 3 or 4 times a week, but you're going to party girl dance rather than going out to bars and drinking your face off and killing your liver.
Yeah. So this is like, it's like where moms, dads, parents can come and take an evening class, dance their buns off, take a morning class, dance their buns off, feel like they've been night clubbing.
Yeah.
And people it's hard to get people to leave this place.
We have to kick people out. And I love saying that, like, because I'm usually talking their face off, like, the whole time, like, because I'm having so much fun with them. I'm never going to tell people, don't drink, you're terrible, because I think there's a lot of that going on. And I don't think that is a reality.
Oh,
I really
come on.
Don't. Like,
life and balance. That's what we promote here.
And I would say even to like the young people, the postgraduates, all of it. Like, I think just like diet and exercise, everything is in moderation. Like, are you going to have these temptations around? Yes. Are going out to bars and blah, blah, blah. I'm not going to say they're terrible, because I know from knowing as many 20-something-year-olds as we have in the studios, like they're craving social. It's like 5 years ago, 6 years ago.
It
really rocked everybody's world and changed how we all interact and react to each other.
I think that advice just goes as a full blanket.
Absolutely.
Everything in moderation. If you like to drink, enjoy a drink. Listen to your body.
Listen to your body.
Ultimately, listen to your body, and that's the best advice we can give. Keep it in motion. Drink what works for you. As we've been through the full evolution of drinking and not drinking, and I think we could just wrap it up with a skinny margarita. What do you think?
Love it. Let's go, girl. Bye, Cheryl.
Bye, Cheryl. Go Bills.